OpenIDEO was designed to involve everyone in the creative process to solve challenges for social good. Our vision was to pick big, difficult challenges. For example, one we have on there at the moment asking how to improve women's security in slums, and have a very diverse community work together to solve it right through the process rather than just being a glorified idea suggestion box. And more recently we've actually begun white labeling or creating other versions of the software for other communities. So we have big organizations like global airlines using the software, or big international banks, right down to grant giving organizations like the Knights Foundation in the States, that are all using the same premise, the idea that the best way to solve complex problems is to open them up to more people and have people work through a fairly systematic approach. Being open is increasingly important. Like the idea that we would just find the appropriate answer in the room or within the building is increasingly preposterous. So I believe in being open, and actually I'm continuously surprised at the serendipitous stuff that happens as a result. I tend to, wherever I can, err on the side of openness and enable other people to use what I've done, and hopefully I've benefited from that in reverse in the past. I certainly think I have. I think everything starts with empathy. It's amazing to me how big companies often fall out of love with their customers. I think it's probably the precursor for failure. All companies need to empathise with and ideally love their customers. The reason is they're in their service. A business is as valuable as the customer experience, and if you don't optimise the customer experience and use empathy to understand what that might be, you are at a serious disadvantage and ripe for disruption. The biggest challenge I've had thus far, I joined a sports car manufacturer when I was very young, straight out of university. I'd studied physics. I then became parts manager, eventually became managing director, and the company was loss-making, and so they entrusted me to make it profitable. I became managing director, and unfortunately I had to lay off a third of the staff, and I didn't sleep for a week. It was an absolutely horrific experience. That being said, I was surprised how positively people took it. It was a good lesson that as long as you're transparent, kind of predictable and honest with people, perhaps it's not as painful as it might be. But that being said, I didn't sleep for a long time. It was pretty challenging.